energy, a lot of buoyancy in the atmosphere because of all the heat and all the humidity that we have had. And we have just enough cold air at the top that we're starting to see some things freeze up. And we could have a little bit of hail in there. Lightning is often an indicator of hail, so we get these real big lightning shows going on that a lot of times there's hail that's lofted into the storm. It may not hit the ground because it may be melting before it hits the ground, but certainly there is quite a bit going on with that. And we are picking up on some shear, so this is basically taking all that spin potential that's going on in the atmosphere, and we have a little highlighted area right there where that lines up beautifully with where we've also seen that little bit of spin on our velocity data. But again, there it is right there. I mean, you can definitely see where we have the greens and the reds. So remember, the greens are inbound, the reds are outbound. And so if you kind of put the two together, you see that little area here, this little notch, that's the spin that we're keeping an eye on. Jessica, I know you are also keeping an eye on things, so if you hear something from the National Weather Service, please hop in here and let me know.
So far, just still flood advisories.
There's still flood advisories. Yeah, we do have a lot going on with the flooding aspect of this.
No additional things on tornadoes yet.
Okay, thank you. And there are definitely, some incredibly heavy rain showers that are coming down with this. Just this last scan, things look like it's kind of broad at this point, but this is this area right there. Still watching that. So we're going to kind of bob and weave right along 585. So this is State Route 585 that goes from Barberton down to the Worcester area. So it crosses through Smithville. This is Chippewa Township. Doylestown is up in this area. And this is all just kind of scooting right along Route 57 up toward Doylestown and Chippewa Township, and then eventually crossing over toward the Barberton area. I think much of Wadsworth will probably be out of this. The city of Wadsworth sits up here, but it could just clip this very southeastern corner of Medina County there as we keep a very close eye on this. So certainly the rain is coming down. This is not one that you're going to want to go peek out the window. You're not going to see anything because there's so much very heavy rain that is coming down in all of this. And you, of course, see all the lightning strikes that are going on too. But we've been keeping an eye on these rain rates, which have been absolutely incredible. At the same time we're telling you all this, I can also tell you that I-90 in Cuyahoga County west of Cleveland. So right around the McKinley exit is closed right now. I-90 westbound, I believe, is the lane closure because of flooding. The eastbound lanes are running very slow as well. So that is a pretty major thing that we're going to keep an eye on. But again, that's up in Cleveland. This area where this possible tornado is currently is also experienced this super heavy rainfall. Jessica, you told me before 3 inches of rain in 35 minutes?
3 inches of rain for Berlin Heights, Danbury Township, and Huron.
Yeah, so
and one of those was, within 45 minutes.
That's just some incredible amounts of rain, and that's what's happening right now in eastern portions of Wayne County. Right along State Route 57, 94 runs from Wadsworth straight down toward toward Sugar Creek and whatnot. So you can kind of see how all of these very heavy showers are going to continue to move to the east, and as it does so, we've also noted that there is some spin that's going on. Broad rotation at this point, but you can kind of see it. So we're going to keep this rather wide. I can't really pinpoint an exact spot because we don't have a really good locator, at least velocity-wise. We know that there's broad rotation that's happening right here, but in terms of the exact, sometimes we look for a couplet. We look for inbound and outbound little pixels, if you will, that are right next to each other, and that's where your key is. I'm not seeing that. It's just seeing broad rotation, and sometimes we can pick up on some context clues if we have any debris that's being lofted. I am not seeing any debris lofted. So this is a radar indicated tornado warning from the National Weather Service. That was an indication of the spin that they saw just to the northeast of Smithville. That's very broad in nature right now as it continues to move eastward across 57 and 94 in northeastern portions of Wayne County right now. Jessica, are you seeing any updates on the chat?
I think it looks like they're going to take that away to a special weather statement. They just did a special weather statement for kind of the rest of that line.
Okay.
No additional information, and they just canceled the tornado warning.
Okay, great. Canceled the tornado warning. So that's good news. That's what we're saying. There's a very broad rotation that we had going on. Mia in the control room, our fabulous producer du jour, if you will let me know how you would like us to proceed, if we're going to toss to break, or if we're going to just pick up and keep going on weather.
You want to just fill in real quick? We've got the stuff ready to go.
Well, let's do this. Let's pivot, and I'm going to show folks what's going on up in Cuyahoga County. We're going to take a look at this traffic stuff because this is definitely a big problem. We have a closure of multiple lanes of I-90, and it is the westbound lanes in Lakewood. You can see the reds and the purples there. So
I think they do have the camera pulled up in the control room.
They do have the camera in the control room. You guys want to pull that up? If you can. And there it is. So as you can see, well, this is video that's just in to the newsroom that we have seen, this amazing amount of rain in a very short amount of time, and that has caused some flooding issues. So this video in from Paul, as you can see there. Now that's the McKinley exit. This was a little while ago. I feel like we probably can pull up one of the other cameras now and take a look at that. Let me work on that, Jessica.
Yeah, we want to talk about some of that rain real quick.
Yeah, please do.
Switch over to 3 real quick, guys, and we can talk about some of the rain that we've had. Also, another report just coming through on chat. About 2 inches of rain out in Lorain County, but we've seen some just tremendous rainfall rates with this, especially across portions of Erie and Lorain County, Lorain County and back towards the Lake Erie Islands. Berlin Heights in Erie County, Huron and Danbury Township, which is back into Ottawa County, all came in with over 3 inches of rain, kind of some of those pockets that you see, the yellows and the oranges in there as well. So just some torrential rain, and some of that falling in the case of Erie County for Berlin Heights, that was 3 inches of rain in, I think, 35 minutes was the report on that, which is just a tremendous amount of rain in a very short period of time to put on the roadways and any of the surrounding areas that can't really handle that. So we do still have really that heaviest rain that's been falling west of I-77. We have some additional radar estimates of 2 to 3 inches, some locally higher totals possible. Again, we have those other 3 confirmed reports from observation so far. But these storms really did a number as they moved through areas of the islands, Erie, Huron County, Lorain County, tons of heavy rain. And behind that, we do have a lot of flooding concerns because of all of the rain that we already had. We still have that flash flood warning for portions of Erie County out towards the islands and additional flood advisories as well.
If we could pull up weather 4 in the control room, I kind of have it highlighted. So this is I-90, this is the ODOT camera, I-90 at Warren Road. A couple things to point out, okay? So we are looking westbound. Obviously the westbound lanes are closed right now. So all these folks that are sitting here in these westbound lanes, there's the McKinley exit, locked in place. They're not moving anytime soon. And this is all flooded to the point that they just shut down all lanes of traffic on westbound. Meanwhile, on the eastbound lanes, there's 2 lanes that are blocked right now. This is a huge puddle, major flooding right now, ongoing in the Lakewood area. And you can see that this is backed up now. The eastbound lanes are way backed up. So look at how this puddle goes. Obviously, it looks to me like this water is coming from the westbound lanes, kind of inundating the drainage here, and you can see how the water goes up on the wall right there. So you can imagine how deep that starts to get. And then it is flooding all of these lanes as it continues to move out because, of course, they build these roads with drainage patterns in mind. So if you've ever noticed the center lanes of highways, often there'll be a little bit of a bubble and the water will drain off to the side. So we know that there's water trying to drain off to the side here. And you can see how they're trying to slog through this puddle that is on this west side. So this is on the west side of Cleveland. These are the I-90 westbound lanes in Lakewood near the McKinley exit, and then the eastbound lanes also having a lot of problems. So this is on the west side of Cleveland. We're going to retool things, get your forecast keyed up for you because we have a heat advisory for tomorrow that we still have to talk about. And of course, the great cool down with phenomenal weather setting up for the weekend. We'll have all that in your forecast coming up in just a couple minutes. Well, back here in the news side of things, Vice President J.D. Vance paid Northeast Ohio a visit in an effort to promote President Donald Trump's so-called One Big Beautiful Bill.
He spoke to workers at Metallus Incorporated, that's a rolling steel mill in Canton. In his speech, the vice president praised the Trump administration policies and the importance of keeping factories in America.
It is time for you to have a government that works for you instead of against you. For the next 3.5 years, the Trump administration promises that is exactly what we're going to do.
The vice president also spoke about the tariffs that President Trump has put in place, saying they are doing their job, aiming to keep business